And from the darkness comes a smile. Hello, everybody. Hi, Donald. Your presidency is going down like a lead zeppelin.
Burst in the flesh, get it? It's tragic, terrible. All the humanity, all the...
Hi, everybody. I wanted to introduce myself and make sure that you all understood that there was a human being behind those tweets. So, my name is Estella McNair, and, well, Donald knows who I am as far as I haven't met any of you guys in this lifetime. Not yet. But, Donald, you know who I am. I heard you say this.
In particular, God, I want to just say we love you, God, and we love our great military. Protect them.
Now, y'all know that that man is not religious, and he was talking to someone. That was me. And you see, when you asked for my help, nothing happened to the troops, right? And yet, had I known what you were doing, I certainly wouldn't have allowed that. What's wrong with you? You know better than us. Or maybe you don't. I don't know, but I do know this. There's a whole bunch of problems because of you. And, yeah, we're not tolerating this crap anymore. So, I'm just trying to figure out what everyone wants to really do with you. And your friends. Your behavior is so unprofessional. And it is spreading. Because this is what I got when I called you.
Tola and Donald Trump continues to think about at least 3 of our service had at least 3 of our service members killed. And Donald Trump says that number is expected to rise. And the paranoia you also know is there.
For quality and training purposes, this call may be monitored but will not be recorded.
Hello, White House?
Yes, can I speak with Donald, please? Trump. Oh, okay.
For quality and training purposes, this call may be monitored but will not be recorded.
Hello, White House?
Yes, I think we got disconnected. Can I get put through to Donald Trump's office, please?
I'm sorry, ma'am. You just wanted to leave a message?
No, I'd like to speak with someone. Actually, Susie Wiles would be fine. One of the two. Tell them this is God, and I'm not joking. Tell them exactly that.
Okay, you have a good night.
No, I'm serious.
The White House.
Okay, this is not a joke. That is a title. It is Guardian of Dominion. Okay? This country was set up by me. I would like to speak to either Donald or Susie Wiles. My name is Estella McNair.
In order to speak with the president, you'd have to submit a written request to the White House.
Okay, then let me speak with Susie Wiles then.
You would have to submit a request, ma'am.
Why would I need to submit a request for my own house? I want to speak to somebody.
One moment, let me get you over to the correspondence line for more information on how to address that letter.
Thank you for calling the White House. To write the first family or second family, please address letters to the White House, 1600 Pennsylvania.
For $95 million, Epstein then accuses Donald.
Okay, let's try this phone call one more time because that was just downright rude. I want to get his name.
May be monitored but will not be recorded.
The White House?
Yes. What is your name?
Yes, you reached the White House switchboard. How may I direct your call?
Okay, you have hung up on me a couple of times, and I just want to make sure I know who's getting fired. Again, this is...
White House switchboard? I don't think we're not hanging up on you.
What's your name? What's your name?
Line.
What's your name?
I'm unable to get my name due to security reasons.
Okay.
What's the nature of your call?
I would like to... We have a war going on, and you are using my military. That's where I have a problem. Now, he knows exactly who I am.
Okay, thank you for your call.
He knows who I am.
White House switchboard.
Uh-huh.
We just provide directory assistance. So you need to call back tomorrow when the comment line is open.
Hold on for a second. I need to speak to someone there. I don't want the comment line.
Thank you for calling the White House comment line.
Okay. So I've tried to call you. That is the only call I will make. This is the reason why I told you guys not to use my title for worship. That's not what it's used for. President Pezeshkian, this is what it's supposed to be used for, Donald. This. That's when people need help. That's what it's used for. And President Pezeshkian, I read your letter. I think there's a lot of things that need to be discussed here, because the person that wrote this letter is not one of these folks, which FYI, just in case no one had figured, actually, it appears that no one has really figured this out. Donald, how are you going to bring me an organized crime network? This is not a system. This is the monarchy system? Okay, that makes a lot of sense now. Yeah. Apparently, it's organized crime. I'm trying to figure out what to do with you, Donald. You were the one who told me all about the stuff that they were doing. So part of me is willing to see if you were trying to tell me these things to prevent it from happening, or part of me, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but part of me starts to think that you were trying to recruit me, as if you forgot who I was at the time when you were telling me that. By the way, that would have happened, I imagine, before this lifetime. Again, I haven't met you guys, nor Donald, in this lifetime yet. So, President Pezeshkian, and let's see. I'm going to tag Prime Minister Ghalibaf, I believe, or Speaker of Parliament. I'm sorry if I if I have the wrong. Let's see, Chief Justice. Okay, well, it says Speaker of Parliament. So Speaker of Parliament Ghalibaf. I think it's Prime Minister is what I keep hearing now for some reason. Either way, you two gentlemen are the main ones that I needed to talk to just to at least get things started. Donald, you are a disaster. You cannot possibly negotiate this, okay? So here's what you're going to do. Because this clown show you have been watching, this is organized crime. These are the remnants of the Holy Roman Empire. Yeah. And in fact, since we're talking about Holy Roman Empire and the remnants of it, no one has ever figured out why everyone hates the Jews. Now, this is not going to be anti-Semitic. I'm going to tell you why. Everyone keeps assuming that the Jews refers to the Jewish people. No, you're looking at the main one. They're not Jewish. It was a business, Donald. Imagine this. Donald J. for Judas. Jeffrey E. Epstein. Michael W. Wolf. And Steve S. for Simon the Zealot. Bannon. Those four. Those are the Jews. Those are the ones that keep getting all of the Jewish people killed. Yeah. They like to hide among them. You see, this is what organized crime does. The problem is they like to get into your government and then spend all of your money starting wars and doing all these sort of things, because really what they really want to do, they want contracts so that they can pretend to make money. Isn't that right, Donald? All you guys are doing is basically trying to set all your friends up so that they can all make money. And then you have a few weirdos that come along that turn out to be from other governments. And this little group that you're with, that would be my little, I'll just call them the Hassenpfeffer gang. Okay? The Hohenzollerns. The very same people that started World War I, World War II, every major conflict. They've been starting conflicts well before their name has been changed over and over again to try and set themselves up as some sort of royalty. Royal. The only people who were really royal, Donald, were the original people that I asked to help set up that area and to watch over the area. That particular family would have been an indigenous family because those would have been the people that I had known the best. And they certainly were trustworthy. Not like this group of people that you are with. Just common criminals, lowlifes, degenerate gamblers, and basically common thieves. Just basic common thieves. None of these people have any money. Did they have some money? But did you know that all these people are doing this on credit? On credit. So that means that some of the financial institutions who are tied to them, tied to the, the Rothschild, that little group, JP Morgan maybe. I'm trying to figure out if he's part of it. JP Morgan purchased Bank One or Credit one of the two, which is I believe a predatory lender. So I'm thinking if they were doing all kinds of financing or other things, if they're picking up that particular bank so that it shows that they have more things on the book than they really do, I don't know. Sounds odd to me. Don't you think, Donald? Oh, this just sounds so odd to me. All these scams that you guys have. Ooh, they got 13. They got 13 schemes. You have no idea how Donald, the level of criminality among you all is staggering. So, let's get to this. Estella means star, like Ishtar. Actually, exactly like Ishtar. And President Biden, that is McNair, like the military base. I think some of your friends are there, aren't they? Tell them not to steal any bugs, please. Now, let's see, the main concerns. What I'm going to do is this. I just want to go over what's really going on to make sure that we're all on the same page. But my issue is I'm trying to figure out what we are negotiating here, because this doesn't make sense to me. You want to explain why you're doing, like, basically, let me tell you what I saw, okay? I saw Donald and his little buddy, the Pirate Bebe, little Bibi Netanyahu there, who, by the way, is committing genocide. He's a war criminal. You don't accept these people over here. And where's Putin, by the way? Haven't seen him. He's too much of a coward to come out and at least tell his men, this is over. No, he's still fighting down to the last man. And where is he? Hiding in a little bunker somewhere, or probably in the basement of one of the many villas I guess he's purchased with the people's money. What a coward. And I told you, all he had to do was tell me who was behind all of this stuff, and I could see how I could help him negotiate getting out of that stupid war. President Pezeshkian and Minister Ghalibaf. Let's look at your 10 points. I just printed a few things out. See, Donald, I have a nice little handbook for you guys. Since you are temporary employees, I want to make sure you all understand how easy it is to fire you. President Biden, if y'all start understanding this is a professional government and start understanding these people are employees, y'all can be fired too. And I'm going to make sure we have some sort of way to prevent this from happening again. All right, so this isn't by any means the full thing that you and I are going to talk about. In fact, Donald, I've been trying to find the 15 points that you guys were supposed to put out. I would love to know what they are asking you to negotiate. Because all I saw was a guy come over, con my military into going over to your country, attacking you. Let's see, hold on now. Trying to get you to set up a toll booth in the middle of the ocean. That's illegal, by the way. So now you are making them criminals. Always, y'all been telling us they have been terrorists for 47 years. And the same person, Bibi, been telling everybody, oh, they are a week away from getting a nuclear weapon. It's been 47 years. That's a long week. So let's see. 10 core negotiation points to end the conflict. Ceasefire and non-aggression pact. That should be obvious, Donald. You all went to them. You attacked them. Hence the reason why this shouldn't even be a question. You had no reason whatsoever. They were not a threat to us or anyone else, frankly. As far as Bebe is concerned, the little pirate Bebe there, him and his kids, Bebe is the one that's going around threatening people, killing people, committing genocide. As far as Bebe is concerned, little pirate Bebe, if he's on this soil, I want him turned over to the ICC. So, Donald, all these crazy people, those people that are in the White House now, that Paula White, Dana White, if you don't get rid of the, like I said, I'm firing everybody around you. I'm just waiting. Just waiting. Okay, so yeah, the ceasefire and non-aggression pact, do that right now. That's done, because this is stupid. You went and attacked this man to try and force them to not only do something illegal. Of course, you'll say later on, oh, it wasn't my idea. It had nothing to do with it. Yeah. You guys are basically trying to get them and Oman to set up an illegal toll booth on the ocean where basically all of the other European countries are going to end up sanctioning them because it's illegal. And you're not going to do stuff that gets us sanctioned. I've had enough of this. Seriously, they will make you a criminal in a minute and then say, oh, I didn't do it. The sanctions relief phase. You want immediate limited relief, gradual lifting tied to compliance. I'll be honest with you, I would love to see the details on the sanctions that are still on you. Because it sounds to me like you may have had someone who was part of, an organized crime ring, who basically was trying to pressure you all into doing some things to steal your land and your oil rights. They do that. And they don't have a problem with it. They will murder all of you and then say, oh, well, we had to stop the Iranians and help their people. Yeah. You're from the government, right? I'm here to help. No. When people do that, they're usually organized crime doing that. What I can do is this. I need to have a number of actual people who are still either part of government or have just been in it and are familiar with your with the sanctions themselves, and take a little deep dive into that. It's probably going to take me a week or so to at least get a rep so that I can start dealing with you guys directly. Think about it like this. You have someone like Bibi Netanyahu in your backyard constantly. If I'm not mistaken, is that what you guys were sending those people into, some little secret mission or something? Huh? To go and steal their uranium? Go pick that up. Because you guys have, it's 5 factions of you. You have the OG oil money. Those are the ones that are, I guess, calling the shots with the shipping and all that stuff. Basically manipulating everything and stealing money. You have old money with your intellectual elite. They're so easy to manipulate, aren't they? That would be all of Jeffrey Epstein's people. Oh, by the way, they haven't noticed yet, have they? They haven't noticed. All of those people, all the little diddlers you have in Epstein's files, no one has noticed. Doctors, lawyers, accountants, all fixers, writers, influencers. But all of them are fixers and money people for the mafia, your little mafia. The whole group, it's the whole kit and caboodle. You know you're gonna have to release those Epstein files, right? You wanted to play? Sorry. Where was I? Let's see. Okay. The nuclear program limits wants zero enrichment. Iran insists on civilian enrichment rights. And the uranium stockpile. Let's see. Options discussed: reduce enrichment levels, ship uranium abroad, convert to non-weapons grade material. Let's have some experts come in, and real ones, not yours. Oh, and by the way, no more blockades. This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. You guys actually opened the straits. Now, I'm not going to take the full credit for that, but I do know when I asked you all, you did it. Whether it was you or a few other people, you guys did it no matter what. So I appreciate that. And then this one comes along, and you're going to blockade the open straits that we got them to open, but you're going to blockade it. And then you guys blockaded the blockade. So are you going to blockade the blockade to blockade? This is just stupid. Seriously, just stupid. Because all you're doing is trying to cause conflict. Not only that, I haven't even gotten into the fact that you are killing people. You only seem to understand money. Let's put it like this. Y'all can't afford to pay for this. You can't afford to pay for any of those planes. In fact, I mean, seriously. It sounds like, oops, oh, we have to buy a new one now. They do stuff like that, and they will do it in a heartbeat. So we're going to have to take a look at all of those contracts that you guys put together. And anything that they are trying to negotiate with you, I need to know exactly what they're doing. In fact, I think it would probably be in everybody's best interest for us to do this out in the open. We can start it here, and this way, just to have some of the things to talk about first. Inspection and verification system. We had all of this already set up. All for you to come in and say, I did it. No, you didn't. Even your wife came in and made up, basically, she took Michelle Obama's, all the stuff she was working on, and then slapped a name on it. But you guys usually do that. It's pathetic. It's really pathetic. It's very sad. Oil export agreements. Iran allowed limited oil sales and possibly capped volumes. That's another thing. Again, I'll get a council and we'll be able to look at everything. The Strait of Hormuz Security Agreement. Guarantee free navigation, no blockades or interference. The only people that are interfering and causing the problems is you. You don't use my military for that. They're defense only. They're defense only. Okay? They're used for defense. It's not supposed to be some mercenary group. You're making them into criminals because you're a criminal and you think it's okay. So that shouldn't be a problem at all. And in fact, I have tagged CENTCOM. If we're all going to be able to use the straits with no problem, they should not be menacing you or harassing you. Do you understand that? Whoever in your cabinet is telling you to do this, I want to know exactly who that is. I really want to know exactly who's doing that. Because anyone who is either part of our military or part of the administration needs to be fired and held for charges. No one is above the law. At least that's how it's supposed to be here. Let's see, proxy conflict de-escalation. Iran reduces support to regional militias, okay, in exchange for reduced military pressure. That's another thing. What kind of pressure are you guys? The number of bases that we have there, I'm sure we can take a look and see what is really going on there and how many are necessary. Because for our national security, there's going to be a certain amount, I'm sure. But this little group, what they have a tendency to do is to get everybody to build things out for them. And then they go in later on to take it over. They're long-term planning. They like to do long-term planning. Let's see, prisoner exchanges, humanitarian measures, release detainees, and humanitarian aid access. Which detainees? We'd have to take a look at that. And the humanitarian aid access. What are you missing? I know they just destroyed USAID, so that's something that'll be put back in place as soon as you're gone. Let's see, long-term framework deal, similar to a replacing the 2015 nuclear deal, and multi-year agreement with staged commitments. If you guys are open to going back to a some sort of nuclear weapons deal again, we can arrange that. And I think this time, though, it needs to be looked at properly. Let's get the organized crime out first, okay? Because they're in our government, and I can see where they are. And there are about 36 to 37 other countries where I can see they're either setting up or have their little tentacles in. I will help you. I have no problem with that. In fact, because I was really asking, kind of what we were negotiating. So I want to know what they've been trying to tell you. And then let me just go through this real quickly, just with the cards. I had to write these little cards out just to kind of keep my thoughts straight, because there's so much. This is like a fire hose of just crime every 5 minutes. I've never seen anything like this in my life. Have you ever seen anything like this? I have never seen anything like this in my life. Any lifetime. Not this level. I mean, in some ways it could be impressive, but it's not a good thing. Makes me wonder if I should let you come back here. Let's go through this. What are we negotiating? That's the question. Now, A, we were not at war with Iran, and Iran did not strike nor threaten us. So stopping that is like a no-brainer. So you only did that so you could basically go over there and have an excuse to try and force them into some sort of negotiations that they didn't need to be in the middle of. You could have made a phone call. B. Men with an organized crime ring conned our military into engaging in an illegal act of aggression based on a false directive. You know damn good and well they don't just race off to suddenly go on a crusade to steal land and resources, because that's in essence what they're doing, stealing land and resources and setting up an illegal toll booth. Who does this? C. I authorized our military to remove itself from this illegal conflict, and they did so far, and then this one turns around and puts them back into it. So I'm going to say this again, Donald. There's no conflict. Remove them. And they are to make sure that they stop listening to you guys, because apparently you all don't know a damn thing about what you're doing. Now, we're going to need to arrange something so that our military is not at risk, thanks to you. President Biden, if you could help me with that, I need like a little counsel. So again, Donald, that makes me wonder, what are we really negotiating? Because you and your friends, the little Kushner, all that little group, that's organized crime. You do not negotiate on behalf of the American people anymore. And especially, to be honest with you, this is really my job to do. You guys are supposed to represent me when I'm not here. However, there are things that you need to do when people need help. But for you to go around and try and tell people what to do, that's not what you're supposed to be doing. Helping these folks and helping them negotiate something that will be better for the people of their country, obviously you don't understand how that works. So I prefer that you not have anything to do with that, okay? I'll take care of that. See, if this was President Biden, no problem. That's why I usually don't say anything. But this is one time when I have no choice but to jump in. So, we will be handling, too. We will be handling these aggressions, and we'll make sure that those responsible to pay for the damages. But who's paying for ours, Donald? Because y'all don't have any money. Y'all a bunch of broke people doing this shit on credit. On credit. On credit. They're doing it on credit. So all the, whoever's financing all this stuff, they're probably, actually one of the things that they've been doing is getting money off of their artwork and buying homes overpriced. The artwork, they can actually take out 50% on a loan. Low interest, like 1%. They never have to pay it back either. At least that's how it seems to be working. Anyway, let's see. A, you were attacked, and Pete Hegseth authorized the bombing of a girls' school and killing of people surrounding, defending the nuclear power facility on some raid that was to extract uranium. Is that what you were doing? Extracting uranium? Huh? Going to pick up the uranium? B, these men got our men and women killed as a stunt to help Bibi cover up his genocide while stealing land and resources from you using my military. C, you're not Lebanon and we're not Israel. I think a part of it is because there is the supplying of the weapons or anything like that. That's something that we can all talk about. But I'm kind of feeling like a lot of those people were trying to defend maybe their family members who were being slaughtered over in the Gaza Strip. Kind of hard to watch other people get slaughtered and nobody do anything to help. Bibi and his administration are committing genocide and shall be turned over to the ICC if he is here. You hear that, Donald? And I mean that. Him and his administration. And in fact, Russell Vogt is one of them. I want these people out of my house immediately. I'm just curious. Whoever told you guys that you were supposed to be paying for them? For this whole Israel project when all they're doing is, this is colonization. On my land. They're stealing my land. That's the part that's irritating. Very irritating to me. Anyway. 3. We have a criminal network doing all this on bluster and credit. On credit. On credit. Do you know how much that irritates me? The fact that y'all can't even pay for half of it. You can't pay for anything that y'all breaking. That's the problem. If they had some money, then, maybe I could see them breaking a few things like, we got to fix it anyway. But no. Y'all people never have any money. Why is that? When you guys keep doing all of this, lifetime after lifetime, stealing left and right, why is that you guys have no money? You ever notice that? They never give you guys any money. That's why you're always back begging. I mean, did you, am I the only person that saw these people begging for land? Begging for land. First you go off and you threaten Greenland. And then you're like, oh, please, somebody give me some land. Give me some land. Anyway, could I have Cuba? Can I have Cuba? No, by the way. And no more blockades of them either. Do you realize you are actually killing people? So if CENTCOM is doing this, I want to know who the hell is telling them what is the excuse that they're using for Cuba. Because putting a siege around an island that needs its things brought in, that's a little strange. It almost seems like, let's say if some people were trying to get away from Russia maybe, and they boarded an oil barge. Just think of that. Just got on an oil barge, made its way down in, and the only way that it could possibly get in is through that blockade, and yet you turned everybody else away except for that one. Oh, you coming with the oil. Sure. Yeah. I can tell you this. Anybody you bring here, we're going to hunt them down. Just FYI. Dragon hunts, of course, you know everything is non-violent. But again, I'm not. The rest of you guys and the rest of the 338 million people who are just pissed as hell about what you're doing. They are armed to the teeth. Good job. Y'all wanted all those Second Amendment rights. You kept pushing that. Yeah. I think they're starting to look at the fact that we have organized crime and realizing all these pediddlers, all of them are with you. And why on earth have they ever even thought about possibly backing you, being behind you, or believing anything you say? And A, these men don't have the money to blow things up. B, you're not negotiating with the U.S. government when you're talking to these folks, as these folks are committing crimes, possibly, well, actually, definitely treason. Because what I'm looking at, Donald, is treason. C, biggest thing, you guys need our help, and with your water. The bombs are only costing you money and contaminating what's left. So the whole thing with the water, that's a big thing in Tehran. So I don't know how far along you are with getting help for that, but that's definitely, there's a number of things we can help you with. Okay, so I made some notes as far as the concerns from the United States and allies. One was the nuclear weapons program, the uranium enrichment, so we know that we're going to have to talk about that. Strait of Hormuz, yeah, no toll booth. So open it up for me, please. And you, don't do this, okay? Don't keep playing this stupid game with whoever you're listening to. In fact, if anyone is asking for a blockade, I want you to run it by me first, okay? Because this is stupid. You're deliberately causing a conflict. Deliberately. You're trying to get us killed. So, if you could, go ahead and reopen it, please. Please, just let's stop the little tit-for-tat thing. Cut it out. Let's see. Civil rights and women's rights, and that's freedoms, education, your system. When you, once we get going, let's talk about all of that, because there's some things that these folks have put in people's heads that you have to be strict on the women. The problem is, when you do that, you're actually destroying the fabric of your society. Everything that you think that you're saving them from, you're actually helping to create. Because these are slave systems, basically. What they've been doing. These are slave systems. And they're attached to some of these religions. So, including the the white Christian nationalism, or any kind of nationalism. But those are slave systems. Christianity itself is not. I actually helped write it. But what you see in that Bible, some of those are my words, some of those were taken out of context, and some of those were added. In fact, Donald, I remember you actually walking around pretending that you were someone named Jesus, using my play. You were in that play. You weren't Jesus. I made sure you were Judas, because you were Judas in real life. You wander around doing that, and I want to remind you, I see he's still a pedophile. Does he still like the little boys too? A few of you guys. And I see them around you too. I remember what happened. You were executed. You, Abraxas, Leon Black is Abraxas. Let's see. Sorry about that. All right. Funding of revolutions on foreign soils. We shouldn't be doing that either. So I think this is definitely something that we can all talk about. And this is actually how their organized crime system works, those little things, that's part of it. So you may be helping them, help funding some of their stuff. Let's see, the removal of the network. Actually, if you guys want to help, we're going to remove all of the organized crime from here. I'm going to show everybody where it is, how it works, the whole thing. I think we should. Let me tell you this. They don't have more than 1,000 people that are like really part of this. It would be so easy, much easier, just to remove all of them altogether. Imagine that. Just like a little wave of like accountability, justice. Let's see, 5, money laundering for the mafia comes to an end. That would be the stuff that you guys are doing. As we rip out ours too. Yeah, because honestly, I don't want to say that the Shah was 100% part of their crew, because a lot of times people are born into systems or brought into them, and they don't know what these people have been doing. You just come into a government that you're supposed to work for and help. And if this is what you grew up in, that's what you know. While the rest of us start looking like, oh, this looks like a slave system to me. 6, systems check and reboot. Okay, that I'm going to be doing a roadmap for our little renaissance that's going to be happening. And I know Ukraine needs one. Certainly you guys would need one. So I'm thinking if you really want to help, I've got one thing to ask of you, more than anything else. Actually, 2 things. A, don't engage with him and open up the streets for me, please. This way, because what they're doing and what you're doing, Donald, this is waging economic warfare against the world, against this country. Tariffs, pushing away our allies, and actually doing things harmful to other nations that didn't do anything to you. Just because some of your crooked and your racist friends said that all of these people are criminals, they're not all criminals. In fact, I think your little group is having some kind of, like a turf war with, is it Soros? It's like the Rothschilds and Soros or something like that. But you guys are fighting, and you're pulling people in that are from different governments, and they're, a lot of times they're not sure how we work here. This is not who wants to be a gangster, because you're not gangster, honey. So aside from that, if we can make sure that the military, it takes care of not harassing you and menacing you. And if there's a problem, I want you to reach out and let me know that. But aside from that, the biggest thing, how about you help us in that war in Ukraine and stop allowing the sale of parts for weapons and drones, okay? The reason why I say that war is over. That war was over a long time ago. He could never win that. And especially with the drones. That's why I'm looking at things, and I'm looking at what you guys are doing, and they've got you fighting to have a nuclear weapon. But the question is it that you just wanted to have it because they told you you couldn't? Do you know how much a pain in the ass it is? Do you see how this idiot actually fired a bunch of people who were supposed to be taking care of our nuclear weapons? This is the kind of stuff that you have to worry about. Think about how much you have to worry about with Bibi Netanyahu trying to send people up to steal your uranium. You want to put a nuclear weapon on top of that? I mean, really, do you really need it? Those drones are far more effective, aren't they? And you don't have to worry about getting your people contaminated with it. You know, those are things that we talk about. And Donald, we're going to have conversations out in the open. Full transparency. Because that's actually important for everyone to see how their governments really work. All these backroom deals and all that stuff, not supposed to be doing that here. There are some things that, yeah, there's sensitive sensitive issues that are discussed. But this is one time I think everyone needs to be talking together. And I would love it if we can start working together, get rid of all of the organized crime, and I wouldn't see a problem with just putting some basic rules on the table between all of us so that this doesn't happen again. So that's pretty much it. I have a lot more to talk about and a lot more things that I want to handle. But I'm going to go ahead and put an end to this particular video because I'm exhausted. I'm tired. Donald, I'm really tired. Do you know how much stuff I have on you guys? Huh? I mean, seriously. If we want to run a treason trial right now, we probably could do it easily on at least about 100 of you. I would highly suggest that everyone just gird your loins because I'm going to be coming through. And since you're running roughshod over everybody, I've got a special little surprise I'm going to throw in. Maybe later, maybe tomorrow, maybe in a couple of days, I'm not sure. Who knows? But I have a whole bunch of things that I really want to share with you and your friends. We're going to share our culture with them. How about you guys come along for the ride? Because I bet your Lego movies, love them. The only thing, just leave out the troops for anything. And but yeah, oh yeah, they're good. Those are good. That's pretty much it. But if everything is okay with you, I think the biggest thing is open up the straits for me and stop sending any weapons to Russia. It's over with. And that coward, how can you watch all these people getting slaughtered and just keep sending them to be slaughtered over and over again, knowing that's all you're doing? That's all he's doing. And he knows that. He knows that there's no way that they can possibly win. There's no magical thing waiting on the horizon. In fact, I already wrote Vlad's story. This ends, and it actually ends very soon. So if you all could help put an end to this quickly, that would be even better. And I would definitely look at that as a big step towards whatever we're supposed to be helping one another achieve. Peace and prosperity for all of us. Not just you, Donald, you and your friends. There's a lot of things that you guys need to know. Oh, the whole system, I can lay it all out. Now, it's going to take a little bit because it's kind of a big one. But again, small number of people. Small number. I am so happy about this. You have no idea. It's been such a long time that I've actually really been able to just have an understanding that this is coming to an end. So I look forward to hearing from you guys and talking to you, okay? So again, let's talk back and forth, and you can tag me, ask me a question, because I think that's the best way for us to talk for right now. Because the whole thing of people seem to have forgotten how to listen to each other. So maybe if we can all teach them, I think that would probably help everybody. So again, my name is Estella, and I really am going to look forward to actually meeting all of you and working with everyone. And I'll talk to you later, Donald. You better be nice to these people, okay? If you want me to be nice to you, then you're going to have to be nice to them. I'll talk with you later.